This is a video. I want to do a quick short about what Stephen A. Smith is saying about why he goes at the Democrats. There was something that he said during his during this interview that I thought was interesting that I thought we should do a quick little discussion on. Take a listen.
Why do I come at Democrats like that? Because I feel like black folks have been played like suckers. You come in 1964, you put the Voting Rights Act into place, and what does Lyndon B. Johnson gets quoted as saying? He said, we sit up there and pass this legislation, the Negroes will be voting for us for the next 200 years. Well, it's about 60 plus. Evidently, he was right, because what has happened? We ain't even talking policies. You look at Trump behavior, and if you think about voting that way, you a sellout. Well, here's the problem with that. So I gotta go this way, right? Remember that identity politics? You're supposed to be for us, right? You want to focus on immigration. You want to focus on the borders, right? You want to focus on the LGBTQ plus community, right? Including transgenders, right? Well, hello, what about the black folks that put y'all in this position all of these years? What about us? Care about us? Care about our issues? Does it matter to you what we going through?
There we go. That's the part I wanted to talk about. Mr. Smith, do you mind being a little bit more specific? What are the black issues in 2025 that you are referring to? So I've always been curious about the black issue and what, or black issues plural, right? But whenever I ask black people, I've surveyed thousands of them, and I have conversations like this offline, online. I have them every day, and I just ask people, okay, what's the black issue? And they draw a blank, like the people do at these No Kings protests. And I'm like, wait, so you like wait, just like those protesters. I'm like, wait, so you don't know what the issues are? And they all have said one thing only: their entire worldview, their anger for the country, all their racism, they say, is rooted in one thing. And there's only one black issue. The black issue is with police. That's all. They hate police. They hate laws. They hate law enforcement. Yet when I watch videos of them being attacked or killed or robbed, there's always one of them saying, "Someone call the police. Someone call 911." What that famous dude say on when he got beat up by that big white dude on the bus that he tried to fight? He said, "Call the ambulance." Guess who shows up when the ambulance shows up? White men, straight white men in uniforms, whether they're EMT or law enforcement. That's the only black issue is police. Now you would think that the police issue would be easy to solve for an entire community that's at odds with the police. They could literally just do what everybody else does, which is commit less crime, commit less violent crime. But they won't do that. That is an extremely tall order that the black community will never agree to. Ask them, hey, how about this? And because think about it. If black people could just get over the whole crime thing, they could be Americans. They would go to work, they take care of it. It's the crime thing. So they hate being pulled over after they've committed a crime. They hate going to jail for committing crimes. They hate being prosecuted. So that's why around the country, but famously in California, to appease the black community and get the black vote, remember, they changed the threshold for shoplifting, where if it was under $1,000, it was no longer even a crime in the state of California. Do you think they changed that law in California? You think Gavin Newsom made that policy so that the Armenian community could thrive in Target and steal all they want? Or so that the Spanish community or the white community could just go and steal anything under a thousand? No, 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 no. It was black people doing the smash and grab robberies. I know this because I've watched all the videos. I'm watching them being chased out of Ross and TJ Maxx and Macy's, holding all the items from Lululemon. And they're like, well, it's only $999. But actually, the sales associates that work in the stores, They're like, well, shit, they didn't ring anything up. We don't know how much they stole. We just know they stole a bunch of stuff. So you really, so in California, like you couldn't even, and then they changed the policy where you'd be fired if you worked at a store, if you even called the police on black shoplifters, because then if black people are arrested for the crime, they can say your business or the store you work at is racist. Yeah, it's crazy. There's somebody I saw in LA that just got killed a couple days ago. A black dude got killed by some other black dudes. The police, it's insane. The police won't release the description of the guys who killed him because they're black. Because then the black activists will say, hey, you guys are profiling. You guys are telling us that the killer's black. So their issue is no longer necessarily with police, it's with reality. The reality is the guys who killed him are black. But if you say that they're black, you're racist. So they're trying to say that reality inherently is racist. So they want to manipulate reality, which is not necessarily possible. So what you can do is manipulate the policy and just decriminalize crime, redefine what is considered a crime on the books. That's the only black issue is being held accountable for committing crime. Now, for black people who live regular, conservative, traditional lives in America, who go to work, take care of their kids, who don't commit crimes, all of that shit sounds insane to us. We're like, what the hell? But it's a cult. To be black is to be a part of a cult. And in that cult, you have, if you're mixed or anything, you have to denounce everything else in your body. That's why you see so many fair, really, really light skinned people that are half white. They're the most militant because they have to go above and beyond to show how much blackness they are. But it's a cult. You can't speak out against it. You can't question it, or you're kicked out of the cult, like how they kicked Candace Owens out. And if you're not mentally a strong person, you can't handle being shunned. You know, the warmth of the numbers of people around you that will indulge in your delusion, it's comforting. So that's why people are afraid to death to say something, to make corrections. I seen this guy walk around with a sign that said, to be trans is to be black. And they said, to be black is to be gay. And all the black people I know, not one of them made a post and said, hey, look, that crazy, insane, mentally ill gay person is wrong. That's not to be black is not to be gay. Nobody said anything because they don't want to be kicked out of the cult. So Stephen A. Smith, I mean, he's right to go at Democrats, but there are no black issues. The only black issue is police. And oh, and as soon as you talk to a black person, oh yeah, you think you're not black? Wait until you get pulled over by the police. And they'll say that to you about anything. And you're like, that's insane that you're so mentally ill and mentally inept that your entire worldview on society, on life revolves around what a random white police officer thinks about you. You know, it's crazy. I look back in all my years in the United States, everybody I've ever met in my life was killed by a black person. Anybody I know that was murdered or, killed or murdered by 100% were all by black people. I don't know anybody that's ever been killed by some Asians, by some Mexicans. I never met anybody that was even killed by police. There was one dude I went to high school with. I heard he was shooting at the police. They shot back, but I'm not exactly sure what happened with him. But I said everybody else I know killed by black people. But yet, and that's true for everybody black. But yet, when you talk to them, they have this weird fear of white people and of the police that's unsubstantiated by the statistics, the numbers. Their greatest fear should be of other black people. See, that's why I pay a lot of money to live as far as fuck away from them as possible because they're dangerous. But yet you want to talk about the issues. The issues is your own people are literally never they don't want to be held accountable for crime. Even crime against you. You're Stephen A. Smith, if he's ever killed, or when he's robbed eventually, or something bad happens to him or his daughter or his nephew, there's like statistically, it's like 96% chance it's going to be by another black person. And you think the Democrat Stephen A. Smith can help you with that? Brother, this is a you and your people problem. It's nothing to do with politics per se. Now, the politicians want your vote. So what they do is they try to just get out of your way so you can commit as much crime as you can in America. And then you're like, well, I want to vote for the party that's going to allow me to commit crimes. because the Democrats said, okay, we'll change the laws. That way you can commit crime without getting arrested. Conservatives are never going to offer you that. If anything, we're the party of law and order. Trump's restored law and order, which is why they hate him. They hate Trump because he's bringing in military and police, saving lives. These people want more crime. It's a part of their culture. I don't think the Democrats can do much about that, Mr. Smith. But that's the only issue blacks have. That it's the police, and it's just because police enforce laws against crime. So police wouldn't even be a problem if you just stopped committing so much crime. It shouldn't be 13% of the population, 64% of the arrests for violent crime. But wait a minute, only so many are convicted. Well, yeah, you guys also created the snop stitching culture where it's worse to be a snitch if you're black than it is to be a pedophile. So because of that, there is no going to court and testifying, so people get let off. That's how our legal system works, unfortunately. You're not going to, if the eyewitnesses don't show up, then if the glove don't fit, you must acquit. But you think it's the politics. It's not. It's the people. It's the people. Yes, they all do vote Democrat, so they have that one thing in common, but there's light at the end of the tunnel. We all know that if they all voted for Kamala, but Kamala told them to do something that summer that required your shoulder and an injection. And so a lot of these problems are going to be problems of the past. This is for content. These issues with race and oppression and this is going to be memories, soon enough. But for now, we'll just talk about them. But that's the issue when he talks about what's the black issue, it's just police. That's it. Nothing else. There's no other black issue.
Because it doesn't seem to matter. You talk about identity politics. Some dude, Liam Thomas, I believe that was his name, that was at the University of Pennsylvania. When you're a man, you 400th in the world in swimming. And then you decide that you're going to change your gender or whatever, and you number one. Well, by doing so, is that fair to women? But we couldn't talk about that at that particular time because of the people who were in office.
It's crazy. There's two black dudes sitting there with Stephen A. Smith. Neither one of them have shit to say. Why is Smith and obviously Rico? I even changed my name to Limbaugh because I like Rush Limbaugh. So why is Stephen A. Smith and myself, Candace Owens, and Tatum, besides that blind spot when it comes to Israel, Tatum also, why are we the only ones talking about this? Why is everybody so goddamn scared? It's because of the warmth of the cult. No one wants to be left outside of it. But me, I got a tent. And I'm Latino. So, I don't give, my people don't give a shit what they think. We don't got to deal with them. We don't got to live with them. We have our own language and everything. So it's cool. But anyway, let me know if you have any thoughts or if you disagree or agree, or if you have another black issue you think is not police related, that is their real issue that Smith is referring to when it comes to Democrats. I want to hear it. I'll have better mics and cameras soon. This whole webcam and stuff situation, my audience is growing, so I got to upgrade all this, and then I'll look more, professional. But for now, this is me in the trenches. I'm in the gutter right now, making content for you guys to enjoy. I do have stuff on TikTok, but you can't talk about politics. I can't call nobody gay, so I don't like TikTok. But I do the relationship stuff on there. But for the politics, Rumble here on YouTube, Right Wing Rico, the single boyfriend on YouTube, also a Right Wing Rico. And follow me, subscribe, like the videos. Appreciate you guys tuning in, and I'll be back shortly with another live. Thank you.
I've been needing to find a new apartment, which has not been easy with credit as bad as mine. Luckily, I found cosigning.com. They connected me with a cosigner who helped me get my dream apartment for me and my dog. I just paid a small fee and was able to move in fast. Get the cosigner you need for the apartment you want. Check out cosigning.com today.